Okay, let's dive into one of my favorite topics, which is nutritional periodization. This is the strategic manipulation of nutrition, basically your calories and your macronutrients, to align with specific phases of training and performance goals. It's used in bodybuilding, athletics, fitness programs to optimize body composition, support the growth of muscle, enhance performance. And there's a couple of key phases. They are maintenance, massing, cutting, and they each serve a purpose. And it's really important as a coach to be able to define these phases, to know when to use them, and to get the most out of them with your clients, because these are the keys to long-term results, long-term transformations. So the most important phase is a maintenance phase. I know that sounds crazy, but it really is the most important phase in anything. And it's because we use maintenance phases to consolidate results. I'm going to say that again. We use maintenance phases to consolidate results. An individual aims to maintain their current body composition. So they're going to eat calories. They're basically equal to their TDE. So making sure that the calories burned is pretty much equal with what they take. They don't want to gain or lose weight, but stabilize. Okay, it's really important to do that. You can have a balanced ratio of protein, carbs, fats, whatever kind of works best for that individual. And the goal is to recover from a previous cycle or set a baseline for the next one. So what I mean by that is, let's just say I've done a diet, I've lost fat, I've lost 10 kilos. Fantastic. I don't want to put it back on. If it took me 12 weeks to lose 10 kilos, I'd ideally like to spend 12 weeks in the maintenance phase. We're going to go into all of these in more detail. And with that, what it will do is it will allow us to basically maintain that as our new set point for body fat, and we'll be able to maintain that result. So that's why maintenance phase is the most important. Now, massing or bulking phase is basically focused on muscle gain, consume more calories and TDE to support your training so you can increase volume and provide the building blocks for muscle growth. So surplus, 10, 20% above hand for most people, 10% is plenty. Macros, high protein, high carbs, and fats at a healthy level to build muscle. So this is what people call a bulk. I prefer to call it a mass phase because we're focusing on building lean mass and tissue. Now, cutting phase is to preserve as much lean muscle as possible. Individual create calorie deficit, consuming fewer calories than a TDE. Then they're going to reduce body fat for, to improve how they look or to prepare for a competition or something like that. So a deficit 10, 20% is generally enough for a cutting phase. We're not doing an aggressive mini cut. We keep high protein, we reduce carbs, and we keep fats at a fairly standard level. Okay. The goal is to shed fat while maintaining as much muscle as possible. So here's a quick little summary. The goal of maintenance is to maintain current. Massing is to build muscle. Cutting is to lose fat. We have a recommended caloric intake for both and a macronutrient intake for both of them. Okay. So some of the things that we need to consider. Transitioning between the phases. If we go from a cut to a deficit, that's the same thing. If we go from a mass phase to a deficit really quickly, we have a possibility of losing that tissue that we've gained because we haven't consolidated yet. To consolidate tissue, you need to hold on to it for a fair amount of time. We need to convince the body that tissue is essential to its survival. So the longer we can hold on to new muscle tissue, the easier it is to maintain that. On the flip side, going from a deficit to a mass phase too quickly, you're primed for fat gain at that time. Your basal metabolic rate has gone down, your TDE has gone down, and your appetite signals are going to be out of whack. So what happens is post-competition time or post-fat loss time, that's the time most people can gain weight. The most extreme example I've seen recently was a bodybuilder gaining 18 to 20 kilos within 4 weeks from a competition, which for me is absolutely mind-blowing. They gained like 20% of their weight. So not a healthy thing for someone to do, but it just goes to show how well geared the body is for doing that. And generally what you can do is you can align your training with different training cycles and goals. So in the hypertrophy phase, if you're trying to increase volume as one of your main methodologies, you may do that when you're in a massing phase. If you're trying to lose fat, you're going to do hypertrophy training, but you probably wouldn't increase volume as one of your ways to achieve that because you won't have the raw material to basically do the work. So we're going to go into more of these in a lot of detail so you can understand exactly when and how to apply these with your clients to get awesome results.